What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and with me tonight, with maybe a tear in his eye, it's the stats man, Chris Gorman. Hit with the stats, Chris.
Hey. Seventh
Party.
year in a row, we have a non-American with the MVP going to the what he is dubbed the free throw merchant. We'll maybe get into more in a little bit, but
I believe that will be the topic
congrats to
Canadian.
that guy.
What you were going for.
Yes. I thought you were going to go with the 7 new champions, but that's all right.
Both.
And also with us tonight is the lawn boss, Trevor Cross. Get that, Joe.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Yes, hello. It's a little late for us tonight, but we wanted to wait till this game was pretty much wrapped up for both game ones. But we'll start in the Western Conference while game one in the Eastern Conference winds down, even though it looks pretty decided here. Chris, we'll kind of let you have the floor here. Obviously, a tough loss in game one for the Wolves. OKC was down at half, and then second half turned on the Jets. So how was it for you? How did it feel? And then we can kind of maybe get into some counters here for the Wolves going forward.
Starting the game, man, it felt great. They're up 10-3. Let's look at it beyond that. They were up only by like 4 in the first quarter, and they had a turnover differential of 8. Like 4 fewer turnovers and 8 fewer free throw attempts. The free throw attempts, 7 free throw attempts to start off the game for the first 5 is really setting the tone there. Some maybe are actual fouls, others. It's weird because like when you look at the box score, it's just like, oh, that's not that bad. Actually, they shot the same amount of free throws. The number of fouls are equal. What? You guys are crazy to think that what SGA is doing is not basketball. And then you're watching the games, and it's just like, there was a joke that like Jaden fouled his aura, and that's why they called the foul. The Timberwolves, the one challenge that they did in the game that was overturned should have just been a travel on SGA. He just fell.
Yeah,
and I think they just did that challenge because they were so annoyed with how often he was doing that. They're like, hey, refs, really just look at this. Like that he's just falling down by nobody doing anything. Though what concerns me with this kind of series is that I have friends that are hockey fans. And this entire playoffs, I've been so excited being like, dude, it's like football, these NBA playoffs. It's been a lot of fun. And then we go to this game and it's everything everyone hates about basketball. Everyone always complains like, oh, they just dance. They don't let them play. This is the game that proved that out. I complained a little bit more than I thought. The Wolves bench was like 6 of 37 from 3. Whatever it was just an egregious amount of 3-point attempts. They were 21 of 51 from the game or something like that. It was just so bad from that front. So I'd like to blame more on the Wolves. I think if they just hit an average number of shots, it would have been a competitive game.
Well, it certainly would have been different if they would have been hitting some of their threes. A true fan reaction who is in the midst of it right there, I think, from Chris, expecting nothing less. Some of the fouls on SGA are questionable, I guess you could say at best. Joey, give us your sort of third party, obviously I think you're kind of rooting for the Timberwolves, I'd assume, or.
Yeah. I'm rooting for the Timberwolves because of Chris. I kind of have like double skin because if Caruso gets to the finals again, wins again, like I feel like we get to claim that for ourselves. We can't, but we will. Good for Caruso. Although he already got a championship, I forget that he already won a title. It's hard to remember that happened. No, the Shea Falls is weird because it's like there's probably like 3 that were so egregious that just makes you think all the fouls are bad, right? And there were a good amount of them that were legitimate fouls. I mean, he was driving to the hoop and putting shots up, but some of them were so bad. I think it's just the Wolves are going to have to really adjust to this because they clearly the Thunder had a plan, right? It was we're gonna try and get the fouls going. We're gonna try and get them out of their game, and we're gonna have to make them kind of make some substitutions, make them switch how they're playing defense, make their good defenders have to lay off a little bit. I mean, Jay McDaniels fouled out with like 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Game was out of hand already. But if you took away all of Shay's points from the free throw line, the 14 points from the free throw line, right? It's still a pretty lopsided loss for the Timberwolves. Chris's point right at the bench. I mean, Naz Reid made one shot. DiVincenzo missed a lot of really open shots. And Anthony Edwards, whatever happened to him in the second half, whether it was the ankle injury flaring up a little bit on him, or if it was just kind of the feel out game where he kind of knew they didn't have it, and let's kind of see all their looks that they're going to throw us. Because at the start of that game, it looked like Minnesota kind of had it going. I mean, they got Chet subbed out like 3 minutes into that game.
Randall was cooking.
Yeah, they ran his ass off the court and said, "You can't play with us, right? You can't play the physical game we're playing." And then the fouls started to come, and it all kind of started to fall from there. The Rudy thing, right, got kind of played off the floor again, but they've survived that already this postseason. So it was interesting to see them not adjust. And I don't know if it wasn't adjust or as much as just they didn't have a good game, right? They played bad. To me, like, if you want to talk about like what do they have to do to win? It's just they got to make shots, right? Anthony Edwards has to be more aggressive, and when he is aggressive and finds open shooters, they've got to knock down the shots.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys on the most part. I think even Chris talked about that prior to the season or the series starting. That all right, if Rudy gets played off, well, we're bringing in Naz Reid and we're fine with that. But if Naz Reid isn't having a great game or isn't a plus on that side, then that causes a problem for you. I agree with you, Joey. Obviously, Ant is kind of in that feel out mode, at least for game one. Only 18 points. He needs to be better, obviously, in game two. I do want to ask you guys because what your picks. We didn't really do like a conference finals preview. We're just kind of doing game one reactions here. But what your picks would have been prior to game ones, and then what they were after. I'll start here at least with this one because after some debate over the weekend. I think I was going to pick OKC in 7. I think is kind of where I landed. Like 6 or 7 is what I was thinking. And I don't think like after game one, I certainly don't think Minnesota's out of it. That doesn't feel, even though it was kind of a lopsided victory there. It does feel like, okay, they got one. We still just got to get one here, and then we're going back to our place. So I think they're going to make some adjustments, but now I'm looking at it, I go, I think you kind of needed to get game one to really put the, set the tone like they did in their earlier series. So I think it's an uphill battle for them. But Joey, what would have been your pick prior to the game one? And then did the game one change your mind at all? Or kind of, affirm your pick?
I think honestly, after seeing how the Thunder kind of struggled through ups and downs against Denver, I would have said Minnesota in 6. Minnesota had looked more convincing. I feel like maybe my change now is like Minnesota in 7. Like watching that game last night, I didn't get the feeling that Oklahoma City was miles better than Minnesota, right? They blew them out, but it wasn't like it was weird. Like the defense was good, right?
Yeah.
But there were a lot of really good looks that Minnesota had that they normally make. They just didn't make. So like, based on the body of work, I don't know if I've lost a ton of faith in Minnesota. The only thing is like, if they can't figure out how to guard Shea and kind of play with that, or if they're going to get you're assuming the series is going to be called the same way, so they'll adjust to it. But if they can't quite get that figured out, that might change it. But I still think Minnesota looks like a team they seem more, I guess they are, right? They're more desperate. They're more hungry. Like, I feel like they're still going to pull the rabbit out of the hat. Oklahoma City, I still just like that Denver series was tough, right? They had a lot of ups and downs that kind of showed some cracks. And like, there were moments in that first half where you saw the things that kind of can struggle for them.
I think Game 7 changed my mind though, if that's because I think I was really like kind of coin flip prior to that, and then Game 7 happened, and I was like, oh man, if these guys play to their full potential, I think they're going to win the next series. I still thought it was going to be, I still think it's going to be a long series, but Game 1 wasn't great. I don't think it's not a great start, but
just kind of remembering last year. Minnesota, right when their backs were against the wall, they managed to pull out most of the stops until they just ran out of gas. And
that last year they ran out of gas.
Little faith left in them still.
Yeah, Chris, what was your pick prior, and then did your mind change at all? Or
going into this before the game, I was thinking Wolves in 6. Coming after Game 1, I'm thinking Wolves in 6. Kenrich Williams was 3 of 3. Kenrich Williams, guys, was he like the third best Thunder? He played 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Every time he was in, he was bodying Julius Randle. Maybe we'll get more minutes. Alex Caruso was 3 for 3 from 3. The whole team was 11 of 21 from 3. That's not going to be – you can't rely on that again. I think the officiating – I heard there was one guy I can't remember his name, but one official was calling all of the touch fouls that Shea got. It was the same ref every time. So it was weird. Again,
it's just weird, guys. It's weird.
But like nobody on the Thunder looked good besides Hartenstein getting some, standing dunks, backdoor cuts. Chet looked okay, but Jalen Williams, I still don't understand how he's considered the second option in 13 on All NBA. I don't get it. I don't see it. He had some cool, he had 5 steals, but like in the half court, he doesn't do anything. It's all Shea. And Edwards is going to take more than one shot in the fourth quarter. Dante DiVincenzo is not going to – he's 3 of 12, man. Nas Reed's 0 of 7, 2 of 9 from Na.
Yeah. That's
going to get cleaned up. Jalen Clark's going to play more than 6 minutes because he looked awesome against Shea. I don't know why he didn't play in the second half more. So I just think there's a lot of adjustments that'll be made in Game 2. I'm still very – confident, cautiously optimistic is even kind of put it negatively. I feel more optimistic than that the Timberwolves will come back to bring this to a 1-1. So, because I thought it would be split either way, whether they won Game 1 or Game 2. They just lost Game 1. So Game 2,
it's not.
You're right.
I do think they got to get Game 2 though. I think we're in must-win territory now.
We're pretty close. Yeah,
we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
My only thing I think about, I'm like, all right, they lose Game 2, then we're in like that Dallas Miami 2006 range.
Right, we're in the
finals.
It can snowball.
Where it's like, all right, Edwards goes full D Wade maybe, but really Shea's been that.
I think the one thing that they do have on their side is that I think throughout this playoff series, to kind of Joey's point earlier, OKC has looked shaky at times, and if they can get them to play tight and J-Dub starts clinching up a little bit, I think they're vulnerable, and that's where I think Minnesota's going to shine.
They looked so tight in the beginning of that game, and I feel like the refs were just bailing them out. Like, hey guys, I get it, you're not ready yet. We'll just keep calling these touch fouls on Shea. It'll be all right. We'll get your footing.
Yeah, because it's weird for how tight they looked, how close that game was. Minnesota had a lot of turnovers in the first half too.
Yeah,
but. I mean, Shea was like 2 for 13 at one point, or 2 for 11, or whatever it was at one point, and
he's garbage.
Right. So you got to assume at some point they're gonna figure it out. Like, I mean, it's the right play, right? If Minnesota can basically say, hey, Alex Caruso, Kendrick Williams, like you are the guys who are going to have to beat us. Like that series tilts in Minnesota's favor right away because you would trust their role players in the long run more than you would Oklahoma City's, I think, on offense, right?
I mean, right now, Caruso though.
Caruso has been playing
right now. That dude is playing out of his mind, man. And
but you got
this is going back to the
like. Does that fall to its mean at some point? Like, and if Ant is going to the hoop every time, right, and he's playing downhill aggressive, like Caruso's going to get that matchup, and you're going to tire him out or get him in foul trouble, whatever it's going to be. So, like, I feel what Chris is saying. I feel like there's some adjustments here that are going to get made that are going to help bring it closer.
Also, another thing, Jaden McDaniels only could play 23 minutes. He fouled out. Like it's just that's like a big story of the game, man. You're just not letting him play defense.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be interesting going forward. I think it's obviously going to change in Minnesota. I don't think the whistle's going to be the same there. but I could see it still being a tough whistle or a tight whistle.
Do they keep the same crew for every game? No, they switch them up. Okay.
No, actually, that crew won't ref another game in this series. I'm pretty sure. I think they only do one.
Yeah, but I think like kind of transitioning into the Eastern Conference, which I guess is still kind of going on here, but
5 point.
It got close. Of course, we started.
I had a feeling
started. This is
I just kind of wanted to start. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't realize how long it was going to go. I was like, oh, it's like 9:30. We're not even starting yet. I was thinking we'd be going by like 9:30 latest. So, yeah, no, that was fine. But yeah, of course, in classic Box Out Boys fashion, it gets a little tight at the end. Well, I think kind of in the broadcast tonight during Knicks Pacers, they were talking about the two guys that seem to be able to get the calls right now left in the playoffs is SGA and Brunson. And because it's the same thing over in that series where Brunson is just throwing his head back and getting calls. And, and if those guys can just keep doing that somehow, I guess that's going to work. But, yeah, it's unfortunate for both those players, especially some of those touch fouls, like you were saying. It was
bad, but like it didn't feel as bad. I'm looking at the box score for this game. Jalen Brunson was a -9, right? Like,
yeah,
that's the story of the game, guys.
Yeah.
Cat's been all over the place in this game. Oh my god, he has been.
Oh my god,
he's been tapping people on the chest.
He had a corner three after Obi Toppin's miss. I think it was in the second.
Yeah.
And he just it was beautiful. I'm just like, this man, he is such a talented athlete.
I still can't stand that guy, man.
He's
cannot stand him.
When we're looking back at these four teams that are left, you obviously don't have maybe all the best teams, right? We would consider probably the Celtics still a better team, right? Just on paper, right? They may have lost the series, but as like a casual fan of basketball, if the fouls don't get called like they did last night, this is really, really good, right?
Yeah,
like this is really fun because you're gonna have four guys, one on each of these teams, that are going to be put up or shut up mode. And it's going to end up being, mono versus mono. One of these guys, you're going to have one gamer here or there where you're going to have like a hero player come in and jump, but like it's going to be Brunson versus Haliburton. I'm duking it out. It's going to be Ant versus Shea.
And then whatever the matchup is in the final,
Boston, right? Or something like that. Like you probably weren't going to get that kind of.
Yeah. Wouldn't have the same feel.
It also, it's just kind of, it's fun that these teams haven't been there.
Yeah.
It's fun that they're.
Well, and it's fun that they're good teams.
And they're good,
yeah,
right?
I think they're good teams.
They're not just on
It's not like Portland. No offense to Portland, but like they got swept in the conference finals.
They're not just on a hot streak. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, these are really good teams. We're kind of waiting here for the final 20 seconds.
I got a question to help with the time. I was looking at, all right, so like when the Knicks won and went to the conference finals, you saw Knicks fans in the street. Yeah. Obviously won. You don't want to see anybody beating up a fan of a guy wearing the opposing team's jersey. That's wrong.
Put him in a bag or something.
But they're cheering on. I kind of liked that. I liked seeing fans be excited because when the OKC Thunder won Game 7, there was a video of them just quietly walking out of the arena and going back to their cars. And it's like, are we not excited? Like, you haven't been there 9 years. It's not like you were there yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, which way do you guys prefer a fandom to go? Because I lean more Knicks. They went too far.
But I like
that a little bit more than what I saw from the Thunder. I like the enthusiasm. I like the excitement. It's not. Don't be afraid to show it.
I'll jump in here because I think I do lean the opposite. I like the we're not done yet. To me, it don't mean a thing without the ring. Now I kind of get it for New York because he hadn't been there in so long. So I do understand like the catharsis of it. But at the same time,
nice.
Yeah, throwing out big words tonight. At the same time, I do appreciate a team that's like, hey, we're here to handle business and let's go. But from the fan base, you should be celebrating. But Joey?
I feel like it's kind of sad when you have to celebrate not getting the job done all the way. That's it's almost like you're nervous that you're not going to get a chance to celebrate again. So you're taking the chance now to celebrate.
Yeah.
So if I was at a Bulls game, right, and they advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'd walk out of there, maybe some high fives, I'd be happy.
Yeah, here we go.
But I'm not joining a crowd. I'm not joining a crowd on Madison, cheering and mosh pitting and shouting. I'm just gonna go to my car and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be a happy person.
Gonna pour an extra tall whiskey and
right. Might go home, have a nice little drink, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what Knicks fans are doing. That's weird.
Well, you wouldn't do that anyways. But why are you pouring that tall glass of whiskey? The job's not done. You shouldn't be pouring that tall glass. You gotta be waiting to pour the tall glass.
Off of the excitement, but
I don't know. Yeah, it feels like your tall glass of whiskey is them riding in the streets. I feel like that's the
equivalent, the Joey equivalent.
I feel like those are very different things, Chris.
He might fire up the lawnmower at 11:30 at night.
He's mowing at 11:30 p.m. Like, why
are you mowing? I need to celebrate. I need to lay some lines down, guys.
Get some stripes.
I need to lay some stripes. Yeah, I think. Well,
I think it's also the fan base that just it doesn't help.
The New York fan base, I don't like them either.
They suck. I hate the people, but I like that they celebrate it. I don't. Maybe it's because I'm still. I was at the game with the Pat Beverly game where you I was at that game. I felt like himself. Yeah, where you bears, and I'm like, why are we making fun of this? I just think just let the people be happy.
Yeah,
I don't know. We're trying to take joy away. I don't know.
I think it's fine. It's let people be happy, but then you're throwing garbage at a dude wearing a Pacers jersey.
Yeah,
that's so stupid.
If you were,
that guy got free tickets.
Yeah,
right?
He did from Haliburton.
Yeah, McAfee.
Yeah, I mean, if they just walked out on the street and they were doing their thing, it wouldn't even be a story. It's that they had to take it that next step and be.
Yeah, you could point at the guy and go, "Hey, you're next," or something.
Yeah,
you
can talk shit to him.
You can talk shit to him, but let's respect each other out there, guys. Let's have a good time. I think that's a problem. I think I don't know. I think sometimes New York fans feel a little like they come out of the woodwork when the team is good. Like all these celebrities show up at the sidelines and
right.
It just kind of
so Chalamet's at every game. All of a sudden, he's like the biggest Knicks fan since Spike Lee.
These guys are here. John Hamm's at the game tonight, touching the ball. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Wait, John Hamm is a Knicks fan?
Thank you.
Then he announced the Chiefs at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All of a sudden,
he's everywhere.
All of a sudden, these guys just start showing up, and it's like, come on, guys,
whatever they want to be,
whatever they want to be. But I'm not seeing regular season games.
I mean, are you gonna become a Knicks fan soon, Titus? I mean, they're
good.
No, they're from the Northeast. That seems to be your thing, right? Teams that are good and from the Northeast
and from Boston, apparently. I don't
know. Is there any regret? Because I remember when we were thinking about which team for you to take as your secondary team, we were between the Magic, the Pacers, and the Celtics. And I can't remember if there was another team.
It was the OKC Thunder.
The Thunder were another one?
Yeah. I think so I was going to bring this up. When I boiled it down, I was hoping the Pacers were going to win their game. But I was like, when I had boiled it down to Pacers and Thunder, they both might be in the finals 2 years later. I mean, when was I picking a second team? And then I sort of got roped into the Celtics from my wife, which I do enjoy the Celtics now. So, but
keep enjoying that. Okay, OG just missed it. Okay,
this
game's not over, guys.
No, we got 7 seconds left. We thought we could comfortably start. Yeah. But imagine if we would have had a start at freaking 10 o'clock at night. But wow, does not disappoint. I guess we're live. We're live talking about the game here. OG.
Oh my god!
This is game talk.
Oh my god!
Game talk.
It's great game talk.
Great game talk.
It's great game talk.
Go ahead, you guys.
Yeah.
It out. Oh,
Haliburton is he probably should.
He just won it.
No way!
Oh my god, he just won it.
No, they're calling it a 2. They're calling it a 2.
Oh, they're calling it a 2.
They're calling it a 2.
Did he just do the choking?
No, it's a 2.
No way. Hold on. I might have to put my glasses on to see this.
Foot is on the line.
You never see bounces like that.
No, you don't.
That is
it's Kawhi. And it's like, what is this? What is up with this?
All right, we have to bring this up, guys. Oh, foot is on the line. Wow.
Foot is on the line.
Some Kevin Durant stuff here. I can't believe this is happening as we record, but we got overtime in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 1. This could be a fun. All right, I'm excited. Now hopefully the Wolves can wake up for their game 2 and make that at least a series.
I gotta lie, go. How does it feel, Knicks? How does it feel to watch it slip away?
So let's dive in here while
Watch
this
it
is getting going.
All right, so how do we feel? So Haliburton did the choking sign because he was excited to do that, but now you got to go to overtime.
That feels premature.
Yeah, that's premature.
Gotta go to
Yeah, it
OT.
was premature.
That's
was
dangerous.
Now I gotta
That's
go win
dangerous
it
because
still.
if they don't win, that's not a good look for them.
No, that's coming back to bite you. That you don't.
That's going to be tough.
You don't win this game.
That's
So he's got to
tough.
come out and light him up. I mean, Reggie's in the building. Man,
Well, he's announcing every game.
oh, for this one? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
East.
East is on. Yeah.
East has TNT. So yeah. So
It'll
what
always
happened
be in.
here?
Unbelievable. Yeah. So
Let's see. So at the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter, which is when we started this, when
Yes.
we were like, "Hey, this is over."
This is
ESPN win probability had the Knicks with a 98.8% chance of winning. 6 minutes, 99.2. Jesus.
They need to redo the equation for that win probability thing because it's always way off.
I mean, the Knicks were up 8 with 41 seconds left.
wow.
Dude, this Pacers team is nuts.
Is this what the Pacers are? Is this
Pacers?
He did this last round against the Cavs.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times. It felt like.
How does it feel, New York, to watch
So-
it all fall apart?
Is this just two teams that? I mean, they're obviously good, but is it just two teams that have no ability to close games? Like,
Or like the ability to close games. You know what I mean? It depends on which way you look at it. Like, are the Pacers closing this, or are the Knicks choking this away? Because the Knicks were doing this to the Celtics.
it's true.
Well, I think OG
Every
missed
game.
some key free throws.
Like, it's crazy.
He did miss some key free throws.
Little choke job there.
I just think this is two teams that are just never done. Like, you can't look away from these guys and say this is a wrap. At least in
That's why I was. Yeah.
That's why you were like, let's wait.
Well, no.
No,
Let's talk. I was about like with the Pacers, they're called front runners. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
we keep seeing them come back. I don't understand why they're a front runner team. The only front runner team I know of is the Thunder because either they win big or they lose. So, keep.
I love it.
What should we talk predictions for this series? Considering don't know the turnout here, but
all right. So prior to game one, let's do this, and then I don't know if maybe you guys want. We can even get off, and then we can kind of reset after. We don't have to sit through 5. It's going to take 25 minutes for the game to actually end. But my prediction, I think. Oh man, where did I land? I think I was so focused on OKC.
It was a terrible shot by Tyrese Haliburton, by the way.
I can't believe
you see the spin on the ball.
Yeah,
it's not
awful.
It's a knuckleball. I think I was going to take the Pacers. They fell in a weird situation. Just like I didn't see the Wolves winning in 6, and I would have picked them in 7, but the Wolves were on the road in 7, and I just didn't trust that. I think it was the same thing here, where I want to pick the Pacers in 6, but I don't think they're going to win in 6. And then Game 7's in New York, and I just don't think they're getting a Game 7 in New York. So I don't know who I would have picked prior. This one would have been a big coin flip for me. You guys
I was leaning. So, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was asking, you guys have any better opinion?
Yeah. So, like going off of your theory, like how you're comparing the two teams. You want to pick the Pacers, but they don't have home court. That's kind of how I looked at it. I was like, you kind of just throw your hands up at this one. I don't know. Knicks in 7. That's kind of how I was thinking about it. There is a part of me that thinks maybe the Knicks could get worn down because I still don't trust Thibs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why should I? And the Pacers are deep, and they're playing 9 good guys plus a Ben Shepherd who's okay. So that's why I would like if Pacers had home court, maybe I would go 5. I don't know, but I still just think I was thinking Knicks in 7, but now if Pacers win this game, give me Pacers in 6.
6, yeah. If Pacers win this, Pacers in 6. If they lose, Knicks in 7.
Cat just made a beautiful shot. But yeah, keep
Wow.
going.
All right. Joey, what was your thoughts on this? And then we can probably wrap it up and go watch overtime.
Pacers have been great on the road all postseason. That's what I'm saying. Pacers.
wanna point that
Pacers
out.
in 4? What are we talking here?
Pacers in
Pacers
7.
in
He said.
7.
Pacers in 7.
Oh, in 7. I
Oh
thought
my
you go
God.
like
oh
5,
man,
maybe.
in MSG, that would be awesome.
I'm in. It's cold.
I'm in on that. It's a cold
Are you
blood.
still bitter at Bibbs? Have we talked about this?
Am I bitter at Tibbs? No.
No,
I don't. Tibbs didn't do anything.
no, you didn't do anything. I forgive
That's
him.
the issue. He didn't do anything.
Well, yeah,
should have.
but
Should have pulled him out.
that's not him.
Pulled him out, man.
That's
Game's
fine.
over.
Derek shouldn't have jumped past when he did.
Hey, it happens. You
It
go
happens.
for it. You get the ball stolen from you. You go for it and you plant and you're popping Achilles, man. It just happens.
Yeah, or
And
your
you're
teammate
down
makes
9.
your teammate makes a terrible pass to you and tears your Achilles, right? I mean, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
This Pacers team is so funny. And I know I talked about this before with like how they have like 8 guys, but it's really like 4 good guys make the 8 guys. But like Nembhard and Neesmith are like a perfect second option, but just as 2 separate people.
Yeah.
Like a perfect halves.
Nembhard just hit a crazy shot. Neesmith is 8 of 9 in this game, has 30 points.
They're a fun team.
Yeah.
They're a fun team.
They're a fun team. All right, man. Well, what do you guys want to do? We can decide.
Let's wrap it.
Let's wrap
What's
it.
in the
and
pod?
then-
Yeah.
All right.
We've got good talk on Minnesota. We'll see what they do tomorrow night.
We got our prediction set. Wait, Titus, who's your prediction for? You got to like just say.
I'll go with your prediction. Indians 6 if they win tonight. Knicks in 7 if they lose. I think it's the only way I can put it. It's a coin flip. I wish I had the stones to take Indian 7 like Joey, but unfortunately I can't.
Balls that Joey's got
That's
there.
why he's the lawn boss, man. That's
Girl
why he's the
pair.
boss. I can't do it. Well, that is it for us tonight. Unfortunately, this game 1 reaction is only half done. But we'll be back next week sometime. I think we'll probably talk here about when we'll be back because it's every night from here on out. But follow us on social media, slide into those DMs, and be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube and Spotify. We very much appreciate that. So for the boys, and until next time, box out.